Well, let me tell you a world about where you lose the second pistol, you go up 12-7, and then somehow, some way, nothing else seems to go your way. We welcome you back to ESL Pro League Season 15. We are in the playoffs, round of 12, just on the perimeter of the quarterfinals. Now, of course, we look at Entropiq having dropped that map, rather fumbled almost, if you think about it, on the map of Nuke. And when I say we, it's Maniac, it's Yanko, and of course, for Maniac, chomping at the bit, what's up?
A perfume of missed opportunity is how I would put it.
Perfume of
missed opportunity by Entropiq. Now on sale. Anyway, first half,
I'll buy that.
Entropiq. Look, they started well, and all the win conditions we listed, they were there. Alien had a really good first half. Forrester was doing a beautiful job. Anytime Astralis was trying to play that late, slow rotation-based Counter-Strike on the T side, it was actually Entropiq who were punishing them. 12-7, everything is supposed to go Entropiq's way from that point.
Yeah, I think it's just self-inflicted wounds, really. You know, we saw that in the game against Mouse in the play-in for Katowice, right? Like, they lose a very close first map, and it feels like, you know, they kind of let that one slip away, and then they completely crumble on the second. And here it was, you know, a couple of weird rounds, but also some weird calls towards the end that made the game really much easier for Astralis to play.
And let's just start kind of going over some of these rounds where in which questionable things happen, or, you know, things that come out the obvious. Yanko, I'm looking at round 7.
Yeah, I think in the first half, right, things weren't going great for Astralis. You know, after that initial back and forth, Entropiq had a really strong CT side. Forrester, Alien were playing really well. And this is, you know, Astralis kind of trying to change the pace, go for an upper fast pop play. But Forrester doesn't get blind. He gets 2 kills straight away, and the round is pretty much over. But then you can see round 14, Astralis actually comes back to it in a half-buy. They don't have a lot of choice. They go for it again. He's in a bit of a different position. He gets flashed here. Glaive gets the entry on Crad. Forrester still blind. They completely swarm him. They get 2 entries to get the site, and they convert the last 2 rounds of the half, which will prove crucial going into the second half for Astralis.
And what the scoreboard says is here is that Astralis tried to play a different Counter-Strike in between these 2 clips, but actually they had to divert back to that very brawly, fast-pacey Counter-Strike, and Glaive did a good job on the entry.
Commendable, to say the least. You talk about resilience, Astralis showed just that, or is it more of a misstep, a missed fumble?
I mean, it is a missed fumble. We can talk about round 22 if we want now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Entropiq had everything they needed. They had all the pieces. They had everything in their own pockets. We have here round 22. It starts with Blame being caught completely off guard after a little bit of inside pressure for Entropiq. Farlig misses an easy shot. From that point on, feels like Astralis is a little bit late on the trigger. We see Glaive fumbling a couple of shots. Config falls. It's still obviously in the advantage of Entropiq. Glaive's going to find that quick kill, repositions himself. Here, there is an interesting call coming in from Entropiq. Good reads from the situation, realizing if we go back upstairs now, it's going to be all right. We have Farling now with the AWP in that position. Just grabs one, traded. But Glaive, here, Xip, I don't understand how he jumps into it completely alone. This should have been the kill that Entropiq needed. And now Glaive in 1 versus 2, of course. Little shout out to Rushwa there, because he falls into his face. I mean, we're laughing about it, but what is Elian doing in that smoke in 1 versus 2? And then as well here, a misstep, misposition from the last teams who get fall. There's no way that Glaive was winning that 1v2, and this is actually the beginning of the end for Entropiq.
Dude, you lose 8 rounds in a row, Yanko. How do you bounce back from that? How do you say, like, all right, guys, even after timeouts and rushing squeaky door, what do we do?
Well, that's the problem, right? This completely broke them down mentally, right? Yeah. They had such a great play to make it a 2v1. Then it's what's the guy supposed to do for you to shoot at him? He was on top of your head, and they were disjointed in the 2v1. I don't think they had time to reposition. They weren't sure where Glenn could come from. They know he was down, so he can come up Wentz, he can go secret, main, up ramp, heaven, right? A lot of different things, but I think it definitely affected them because even with the timeouts, the calling wasn't great. What Astralis did after that was put more pressure yard. Blame had 2 back-to-back aggressive rounds outside where he got kills. Then they take a timeout and call a door rush. Like, what are you going to do after that? Like, just go back to yard for a 3rd time. If you take a timeout and go yard again, there's no way Astralis is playing for that. They were playing for an inner play. They shut them down, and that got them all the way up to 15.
Sometimes you got to see the forest for the trees, or rather the Forester over here in between over here on the Air Force Aim High head-to-head. Throw that up there because the config's on the other side. You already know he is. And when the numbers run themselves, I guess they're not going to lie to you, are they, Maniac?
No, they won't. And Forrester, I guess, has a right to be a little bit flustered after that one because he did put his best foot forward. He had a massive first half. He was multi-killing, over multi-killing, also in mid-round situations. Config, on the other hand, had a couple of moments, as Janko was mentioning, where he looked down the A side, mostly on the CT side for Astralis. You mentioned Blame, and I think it's just fair that we give him a shout out. Blame had a really poor first half. He was completely stopped and destroyed by Alien's Peak, by Forest Peak, but then on the CT side, he came back alive. And not everyone can do it at the top level. Not anyone can be just snap on the floor in the first half and then actually rise back.
And I would love to get your thoughts just really quickly before we go to break. And Yank, I'm looking at you about Vertigo. We already know it's a weird pick, so where do we go from here?
I think Astralis is going to win just because of how this first map finished. I think that's one of the weaker points for Entropiq. Like, if they lose a map rather than their opponent beat them, like they make some major mistakes in a map, like they have a very tough time recovering mentally from it.
Scary stuff, all things considered, at least if you're on the Entropiq side. You just about barely missed on the first map of the series in a veto that looked pretty damn good for you. Except Astralis have a game plan of their own, and that's taking us into Vertigo. Let's see if they can close this one out and advance within the playoff bracket itself. We'll be right back after this.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Hello, can we peek?
I think I'm lagged, bro. Something wrong. Sorry. I need to use some tricks in case I want to win. Where are you at, bro?
I don't really know. Play like look. Well.
Yeah. Is this the coach or actual player?
It's MVP of this moment. Hello. Boom.
Oh, we have some nice headshot skills.
We're just waiting. Okay. Let's push. Push, I saw you. Hello?
Do you know that you can surf there?
Mm-hmm.
Actually. I'm just showing that I can have some surfing skills. I'm pushing you, bro.
Okay,
Just calling you. Oh. Time to step up.
Hi. Oh, someone low HP. Body shots.
Brosh.
I saw you.
Why am I always alone?
I saw you. I can shot it here through the wall.
Yes. Okay.
Push right.
Where?
No, just trying to find you.
I know, I think these spawns are rigged. No one wants me to win. I'm not done yet, bro.
Body shots.
Yeah, like you do.
I do it only once.
No, watch match after. Okay.
One of the most famous comeback in CS history. Oh, sorry, man.
Entropiq, a team that refused to go down easy and nuke the embodiment of it. 16-14, Astralis head to the second map of our series. This is playoffs, it's do or die. Fury are waiting for the victor in the quarter-finals. As they exchange their fist bumps, we prepare ourselves. By we, of course, myself, Machine, and Chatty B. That's how you say it formally.
That's the official, that's on my birth certificate,
Yeah,
actually.
that's Chatty B. Getting into it, though, as Vertigo starts with Astralis on the defense. You know their names, but a new unified Danish front. Config, Farley, Blame, Glaive, and Zipex defending up against Entropiq. And look at this. 3 CTs walking mid. Nickelback is not ready for this. McCrad maybe can make it even. 4v4 at the moment. He can leave with an extra frag if Zipex gets hunted down. A nice find. Blame punishes, and 1xBet heavily leaning towards Astralis, as does this pistol.
They're into B right now. The fight's going to keep on coming for Lackey here. Zipex will grab one, and there's just 2 remaining. Elian and Forrester, the heroes of the last map. Need to get it done in a 2-on-4.
He's trying to exploit a way into an extra frag, and thinks better of it now with the bomb on his back. He'll let Forrester try and work up ramp.
But look where Farley is. He hasn't left this sandbag position over towards A the entire time, and he's not really playing for info, just the odd jiggle, just to make sure they're not walking up on the upper deck on him. Forrester will be able to slink his way all the way through shore in towards the site, and Farley is accounting for that. The rotation of Blame is now greeting him, and it is a 2-on-2 on A. Yeah,
USP's favored for some of these exchanges on that headshot box. Blame does take down Forrester, and a nice clear. Elian, good for that. He knows Blame's there, and a couple of click opportunities have gone awry. He's got 45 seconds to try and piece this one together. And he's being hunted, actually. Blame, very push happy. He's had a great pistol there. That's 4 kills from Blame F. And you will hear when he finds those connections. Heku asking him a little bit about it. It's just not even something he considers, and attributes it to his role on the CT side. But yeah, he's got a voice in the server and in the studio.
Yeah, good stuff here. I can't believe the clear. Elian, very diligent right there to get that kill, but it was the only kill for Entropiq within that round, and it will just be the Glocks with 1 deagle and a flash to try and make something interesting. Now, I'm curious to see how much of that mid-crawl comes into play from Astralis on the gun rounds as well. We know Config will be playing this position, right? So he might want to get a bit of a move on and target some of the weak points here of the default from Entropiq. Now, well, that's a deagle kill over towards A. Glaive getting very push happy there. Elian's going to rip his skull off the shoulders. If they're able to scoop that gun up, it'll give them a second weapon to work with here. The Glocks, just the pea shooters, not really too much to be concerned about.
Well, already the first 2 rounds, we've noticed that there is a bit of a lean from Astralis to deal with mid. Like they have 3 in the pistol, 2 initially on the gun, and I think that's just also by nature of the weapons they're up against.
I agree with that sentiment. I think like you want to bully B early while you can. And also use the range of these weapons, which Farley apparently doesn't need to use. He's going to push up real close, take down Nickelback. So back level 4-4, and as they ping pong across the map, Blame will find Crad stuck at the net. Another chance, yeah.
Wasn't far off. He gave him some clown hair with his crosshair.
Oh!
Yeah, that's not gone swimmingly.
Well, he got people at the deagle through the floor right there, so that was pretty cool from Forrester. There it is. Config will get the final frag. The rifles be retained. Glaive should be getting a bit of a drop from one of his teammates here. Blame could drop him a rifle. Config could do the same. They're both just under that 4K mark. And he will be given a FAMAS from Config. So nice shot from Elian there.
Yeah, I mean, that's special. It's an AWP line you typically take, but you know what? Why not take the discount AWP, the $700 hand cannon? Good for an opener, but Astralis definitely looking good for the closer. Let's see if we can get that first gun round under their belt, or if Entropiq have something to say about it. They're leaning towards the A side. Lackey's responsible to head-to-head with Zip, and Glaive is not deterred at all around the smoke. Lackey profits. If they would get this, the B side's open, but Config is there to respond. And all backpack, Nickelback is known. Dropping his util to try and reposition. This is threatening stuff from Config. He needs to reload. Are you really going to do this with just the USB? Not the fight for you, Config. Config is playing a very dangerous game.
Finally gets the reload. Installed out Blame here as well. They might not be ready for the Tetris swing from Forrest. They're pushed up towards the white box. Still juggling positions here. They're going to get caught off guard by this flash.
So flashed. And then Molly is perfect for his hidey hole. Still no punishment, though. Forrester does eventually put his name in the feed, and Config eliminated in round 3. Blame is here. Good off angle. With left side gen smoked, he'll jump his own util.
Have to go through this.
Oh, perfect. Elian just sitting around on the sandbags is met by the spray. They are trying to pivot away.
They've used all their nades here. They've just committed everything towards the B-bomb side. They've dropped back. They've given up the space. And now they're just going to settle into a 3-on-3 with 35 seconds left on the clock. I don't know what you do now, Entropiq.
I mean, you'd love a quick headshot onto Glaive from Crad, but not going to be given easily. You can see the jiggling motion of Glaive. He's not actively contesting. I say that as he decides he will in the off angle. 19 seconds. He's actually leaning A. Just this cut of noise. He's got to do it all. Forrester has saved the site with 10 seconds to spare, and the rotate back is bareheaded. The Entropiq flavor is unique.
I can't believe they just cut all the audibles there and walked on in. Forrester is an absolute machine. That AK with 2 massive shots within this round, and Farley's actually considering this. He's going to give this one a bit of a look in. The FAMAS up close and personal, peering over the ledge. Long way down, my friend, as Nickelback isn't expecting a player already to be pushed past. So there's one. No kid is going to try and back off, and if he can find an M4, that would be nice. He's picked up a kit. There's an extra $400 that'll be saved going forward. Blame will be able to rebuy. Zip's going to be very, very close to do so as well, and Farley will be able to drop a rifle. So important stuff here, but that was looking like Astralis' round. It got very chaotic for a moment there. You could see Zip, he's very brave to play on the wooden boards around a B lurk smoke. That smoke almost completely negates this type of a play that Zip's going for, because, well, the T's can use the cusp of that smoke to look on over. So a bit of a risk there goes punch, and that is a blistering hot shot from Forrester there to get them back into it. Hasn't slowed down from Nuke by any means, and helps get Entropiq on the board for their first T round here.
Yeah, Forrester is definitely one to watch. This kid is coming in hot and steamy into a very big affair up against Astralis. Playoffs do or die, especially a map to the good for the Danes. See how this one shapes up. Glaive not going to be leaping down ramp this time, but they are caged by that ramp smoke. It's all about the reactions off the back of it. Do you drop a lurky smoke of your own? Again, they come knocking on mid, and again, Astralis have invested into a...
They're already out, Config.
Ooh, he will be not long for this world. Only a 5-7, and he's lost his rifle support. Zip, weapon recovered. Maybe Config can fill this void.
Surprising to not see Lackey try and take a bit more space towards B on that kill. They know that Zip is the B defender here, but they're happy just to pivot back towards A, so containing any pushes across the map, and Blames is the next they have to deal with here, up close and personal on the scaff.
Got to clear him. Glaive in support as well. They do seem to travel in pairs, and Glaive on his jump across for info. That smoke tells everything they need to know. Blame booked. Glaive could be next. Strafes out, and you'll never guess who's finding him. Forrester has got a double entry into A. The rotate's on its way, one way or another. Forrester will find you.
Jeez, okay, well, he's just ripping off scalps here, and he's doing it in all fashions. The CT side, locking things down. Config going to be the next to fall. Lucky's bullet rings true as well. That'll be his first within the round, his second kill in total. And now down to the eco for Astralis here. Very flustered stuff over towards A. On that jump peak, a defensive smoke gives away the position of Blame. They just start mowing him down through. He can't get away. Could have been an element of surprise here, but yeah, you can see this. Forrester reacts immediately. He's like, you're not getting away. You ain't going anywhere, my friend. And then Glaive, trying to pick up the pieces, goes down as well. Ready for everything is this kid, as it will just be 5-7s across the board. Now, 5-5-7s.
5-5-7.
It's fun to say.
Haven't seen that in a while. 5-7 does land that dink, just not quite close enough to finish the job. Blame is hunting.
Lucky hear this.
I don't know. He's not acting like he did, but they are committing to A, and that smoke on bridge is going to ruin their day. Which 5-7 skin do I prefer?
Well, that one fell flat. There was a bit of Kevlar behind this as well. You can see Blame has head armor, Config has Kevlar to his name. So this was feeling a bit more like a half investment, if anything. 2,400 into the next round. Scratching my head a little bit here as a desperate maneuver from Astralis nets them absolutely nothing.
Can you explain where Lackey's rifle just went?
Did he throw it away? He might have thrown it away because he's worried about dying. Like he could have thrown it off the map. Maybe Jay, the gun watcher. I'm going down. Oh, look, where did he leave it?
He's decided he didn't want it. Instead, he wants to give them a kill?
He's not giving them anything right here. Might be a little bit worried about the bomb, maybe. Yeah, I don't want the Glock. My gun's a little bit better, says Zip, and only just.
All right, well, that worked out well. Lackey calculated in his hiding of the rifle, will not fall into enemy hands. Entropiq, they will take the lead. 3 consecutive rounds here. The ramifications of that buy with the Kevlar alongside has put Astralis into a bit of a dire circumstance. They have opted to go for another half buy.
Yeah, more 5-7s coming out here, so Farley is even being gifted one right now. He doesn't want to spend a penny. He wants to get that AWP out as early as they can.
Let's see if Astralis can convince us and the chat for the 5-7.
Oh, oops. Just hit the roof there. Wanted that one to land at the top of the scaff, but another molly will do the trick. And Glaive, he's over towards Sandbag with a smoke.
They love a good boost. Flight path's pretty ironed out now on Vertigo. Expect to see T's casting glances at the potential, both left and right, of this yellow.
I think the way that they want this to operate is Glaive gets mollied, they drop the smoke, and then they all get glued towards that Sandbag position.
Like this. Just like that.
Exactly like that.
Wow. There's a counter, though, in the form of a nade. Crad does delete Glaive, and it's Crad that continues to keep things... Oh, Forrester, lazy clear. He's gone down too. There's a rifle now. This gets really bad. If Config could just do more damage, Lackey cut down to half. It's Zipex requested to clutch, and the fact he's faked gives Zipex a bit more room to stretch his legs. Not being held by Lackey's angle. He's been allowed out of Ellie. Oh, he doesn't
strike timing.
spot him. Yeah, it's a cruel mistress's counter. And there's one back for Crad. So this is the gap. Lackey's sticking out.
He saw him.
Oh.
He saw him.
Oh, just as easy as that. This gets weird. A 1v1. Thankfully, Crad is here and posts 3 kills to secure 4.
Okay, that one got close. Almost got out of control right there. Config, you could see from that position, right? Maybe he didn't know that both players were wrapping Crane to front sight, but that was a big kill for him to make. A little bit of survivability. They could have played out the 2v2, but Astralis will now finally get out the guns here. M4 is being purchased on up. Farley's going to get that prized possession of the AWP. And here's the bait and switch on the boost. Beautifully handled here. Well done. A nice maneuver with misdirection.
We're getting more and more of those, aren't we, in terms of like misdirection and exploiting defaults with your half buys. Oh, that's a nasty, nasty bullet straight to Glaive. Elian pre-aims.
He's killed Glaive a couple times. There was the Deagle shot, and now there's that quick shot on the AWP, and Zip, you're in trouble, my friend.
Should be a dead man. One single bullet through the board, and it'd be no, but there's the flash. They're all doing the dance. He mantles up as Lackey. Good for it. They don't have to commit, but you can see that they are kind of stumbling over each other to try and work out who will sell it. And it's none other than Forrester. Cut out of the round very early on. A little one-way smoke on default's a nasty one. You get no vision, but your legs are sticking out.
Problems here because Nickelback is so low. I would say problems, actually. They're starting to gravitate towards this AWP, so HP not going to be a problem as Nickelback's dropped the NaVi, and he's going to have a little bit of a look around, and Farley has to be extremely concerned because he can get overrun in this position. He's on his lonesome. Blame F's mid. Config is disconnected from the pack on B. This is going to be hard for Farley to hold on to here. Not likely to retain this AWP. One and done. Seems like the most likely outcome, but they are starting to pivot. Bogdan's Law plays on through the peak. It's going to net him a kill. Needs to get away. Needs to tuck back as fast as you like here.
While he stops the swing. No, Lackey. Caught lacking again this time. Now the bomb loose. And a hot molly on top. Krad's flank is everything if they want to turn the tables now.
Not accounting for this.
Blame F. Oh, he's cut down Elian, so now even anticipating this flank from Krad. Loud, 15 seconds. How is he supposed to turn this around? Kills short, needs to plant. There can be disruption from Config. Both sides. Doesn't matter where you plant, unless Blame is too passive. That's a free frag. Astralis will leave. A triple kill out of Blame.
Oh, comms off a little bit there. They didn't get the AWP back, and it was just to the right-hand side. So Farley has to operate now with just a rifle here. Going to feel a little bit hard done by. The AWP was not salvaged for him to carry on through and try and go toe-to-toe with Elian in the next round of play. But this is when the unbridled aggression of Config actually helps, because they thought that they had a bit more space to work with, but Config wasn't afraid. He's like, well, I'm not scared of you. I can aim too. Steps on out, gets them a necessary kill, and that throws this round into disarray. So Entropiq probably feeling like they've given one up here.
One of the many weapons in Glaive's arsenal. Was trying to convince us of the UMP when he joined us on the cast. And he is continuing his walk.
It's been spotted. Elian knows there's something awry here. Pivot back, I dare ya.
Oh, and that's the end of that. That's what Elian was looking for. Glaive kind of committed on such a small slither of information. That's what the T-side AWP presence can cage.
Yeah, this is the thing. Now they're operating with a man disadvantage again, but there's no Config to battle one back. Bit of a smoke as a one-way on the top of the sandbag there, and he's actually using it in a different angle with Farley.
He's got toes. Can see that left side commit. Great catch from Obs as Config's down. Falls to Farley, and Elian was missing his shot in the blind spot. He could get another through the top. Farley trying to exploit, but oh my lord, he's so susceptible to that shot. Lucky to have gotten away with that. A two-man advantage for Entropiq. They cannot afford to lose this. They're walking into the stack as it stands.
They need a fight here, right? If they just sit on the side, they'll get executed on.
This is the fight. Forrester ready for it. Farley turning around, and yeah, he was waiting for the flash. A bit of a miscom. Didn't quite manage to execute as intended. It looks like the call has been made to save the AK.
Yeah, that right there, you're right. It must have been a miscom because the traditional flash, I didn't quite see where Blame throws it, but that flash lands, and when you're going for it early, if you're going for like a CT aggressive maneuver, you want to have your back, right, to the, I guess, the drop-off, yeah. Right? So when you step on out, the flash pops behind you. Here, Farley's going through those same motions, but they're already close. It's like he has to wait for the flash to pop and then swing. It's a different fight, right? You're not looking for down the ramp, you're looking for a close fight there. And Forrester was blind, at least that's what the kill feed would tell us. But one back here from Entropiq. And I think Glaive's hijinks of aggression around that tarpaulin is going to come to a close here. Might have to start dropping off from Crane and playing behind the smoke in that facet, because Elian is punishing them whenever they want to maneuver behind it. Just those eyes, those keen eyes with the AWP scoped on through, catching any little glimpse of darkness. And there it is, all five staying alive. So a bit of a bank now starting to be established over there for Entropiq. 2 saved guns and the conversation to be had. So yeah, you can see just tracking that little dark line through the gap, and Glaive goes on down. Paper thin staff, timeout called. This will be the first here from Astralis within this map.
So flashed. He was so flashed. Kill feed wasn't deceiving us this time.
Yeah, need to have a conversation about what they want to do here. Next round, it is going to be 2,900 as a loss. So if you just operate around these 2 saved rifles, instead of trying to force buy, you have a much stronger buy in the next, but you will be handing over the 6. So the conversation is, how can we get the most out of these 2 guns? Blame, Zip, where can we put you on the map? What type of stack, what type of boost, what type of little move have we been working on the CT side that could net us an opening kill or 2? Farley's going to be dropped to 5-7 thanks to Zip. Yet to see investments from Config and Glaive just yet. Glaive yet to frag, having a bit of a rough start to this game. 007, secret agent in the service.
Pace behind this. Forrester using that spawn and charging up short. Oh no, backs are turned. Sandbags could be next. Just like that, all of the scary prongs of this defense are gone. Thanks to Forrester, yeah.
No bite whatsoever. The 2 players who are left with the rifles in hand are 2 of the more passive elements of this, so I expect the kills to keep on coming. Elian with 1, Nickelback another, and now it is just Config disconnected from the pack, trying to have a biff with Lackey, but he'll handle that, and 2 rounds in a row, 5 stay alive. Great stuff here from Entropiq on their map choice. This is already a great T-half. Anything more, going to be gravy.
I do love a good gravy. Do you know what also I think is underrated in the kind of gravy / mash department is sweet potato mash.
Yeah, don't you doesn't get enough love.
Why are we not repping that? That is God's gift in the vegetable department.
I feel like chains have overdone sweet potato fries. Now they don't do them crispy enough and they just come soggy.
Yes,
So I don't want
soggy
this.
sweet potato and soggy round for Zipex. How has he gotten away with that? A bit of a slip up. Quite a literal one. You can see the fall hazard. He was nearly there.
Oh, he's getting swung on here.
Yeah, finally might be a dead man or not ready for Crad.
Blame's pushed down on A again here, and this didn't work for them last time. You might get flashed on through.
I like this. I like this a lot. Elian doesn't as he goes down with a white screen.
Finally a change it for Astralis. A two-man advantage here.
Yeah, aggression may be the answer. Double incendiary. And still Forrester trying to find a gap. He's going to try and punish. Oh, Blame, surely vulnerable, does lose his head. And now A could be a problem. There's still a man advantage for Astralis. This changes, though, if Glaive...
It's a weird smoke.
He's thrown out a bit of a freestyle smoke there, and Farley's going to have to try and fill this short gap. It's not worked out for him before. He's just going to hold it passively. And it should enable a bit of a reset.
Farley needs to be so careful. If he overlooks here and goes down... Given one over here, and it's Forrester again. Another double for him. It's a 3-on-3 that is well and truly on. 45 seconds. A seems to be the side of affection
Glaive has
right
to
now.
find more than one, or break his silence at the very least. They can come round. Forrester, he's going to clear his corners this time. Or not. Flash, both doing the dance, and now the advantage is back in Entropiq's court. Astralis, red-faced, hot under the collar. A reload required, and the bomb now planted. They should get away and play the advantage. Nickelback will be first contact. He can afford to get away as well. They really are in dire straits. Do you even go with no smoke?
I think they should save right here. How do you get back into this? Config needs to find a miracle right now and getting spammed on through. Forrester finds 3 kills and the round already looks done.
Yeah, I love this angle from Config, but oh, it's not going to get you far. They're going to double peek. And just as easy as that, Config, the last to fall. They lose everything, and you'll never guess who it is. Forrester with 4. Call him Forrester.
This guy's awesome. We were talking about him throughout the group stage here. It's great to see more of it as well within a match against Astralis, round of 12 in the playoffs. And starting to get a bit hot under the collar here, I think, Glaive. That was rough death for him right again. The flashes just suppressing as part of this. There it is. He just turns into it. He turns into it. They're both staring at the flash, and Forrester's got a couple of kills this game. Saw the barrel, had the lead time, able to get the crosshair in the right place with the white screen, but yeah.
Good flash. I mean, it's designed exactly for that duel. You can see Forrester had the timing just a little off. 2-man B lean. Astralis are trying to mix it up with light weaponry. They have to try and find something here, otherwise Entropiq, they can run away. Posting double digits on T-side Vertigo is not too commonplace.
This was the problem with the veto, right? I was looking at the map pool, I was a little bit concerned because it felt like Entropiq could have taken this to a multitude of different places. I was like, well, do they want to pick into... Well, Dust 2 got banned. There was no Inferno here for Astralis. We do see them taking it to Vertigo and showing a very strong
Watch
form
out,
here.
the shark is in the water. Blame swimming in his Speedos. Forrester will throw out the util on his own. Is he going to do it all on his own? Or can Blame be the remedy every time? Forrester again with an opening kill.
It's twice. We saw it with Farley. We now see it with Blame. They're not accounting for that close angle of Forrester here.
And there could be more for him. He has been dinged, somehow alive and kicking. Good nade.
What a nade.
What a nade, off the floor. Oh, it's Deagles from Farley. He's made the round out of this.
This one's on.
Very much like Donkey Kong Lackey. Gonna give him a gorilla fist or not? Wow, Config gets away with that, and now Forrester, he started this round well, but low HP. Again, catches Config's hunt. Can you really build anything out of this? The bomb is lost. You have 0 health. There should be no way in. And Astralis know it as well. It's their round to lose. Lovely threading of the needle so far. 2 angles to be cleared. Worried about short. Too worried about short, and it does come to bite him. Farley gets the credit, though. I mean, that round was looking dire until suddenly 2 Deagle frags popped up in the feed.
He did the same thing on Nuke when they took the lower site. Remember, he just absolutely bopped Alien up towards ramp, gets the second kill on Lackey, and they ended up losing that round. This time on Vertigo, they're able to make good on their promise to Farley and pick it up. And this is it, that flash again. Like, it's a good flash. How many kills is Forrester going to get while blind, right? Yeah. Through smoke is one thing. That's Glaive's jam, but apparently Forrester does not need to see to put the lethality in the server. Double AWPs, that's the change up now. Config, it's going to just be smoked and flashed off the B line immediately. The lurk smoke with the flash combo is enough to send him packing all the way back towards mid. And Farley, are you really risking this?
Imagine.
We've seen what happens.
Yeah,
we've seen what happens.
This is Alien's field day. He just waits. Can't see much, admittedly, now with all that smoke up. He may have lost his potency. But he wants to hold it. Many AWPers can do great things from this slither gap, and oh my god, Elliot does catch a glimpse. He's burning. He has to go down. You can see the barrel. So much damage. Elliot trying to find an angle, and it does lead to his demise. Farley again puts his name in the feed, this time as an opener.
Oof, took a molly, took a HE, took some teammates, but they do get the kill. They get the scalp they're looking for, and does this stall Entropiq out right now at 7? Will it be another consecutive round here for Astralis?
I can't believe we're about to watch it go down again. Is Glaive gonna flash? Yep, it's gonna be the same battle on short. Forrester and Nickelback this time. It's a 2v2 here. Flash thrown in. Nickelback blind, he's not quite as prepared. Forrester, the late arrival, unable to trade. That is the end of the round. Farley confirms it. Swing through, force of the hand. And just the two of them, Lackey and Crad. A whole 5-man Astralis roster, and with info aplenty. That deagle round from Farley maybe extending play significantly here.
Bit of a miss. Blame is low. Lackey has space. Time a problem.
Config is really overexerting himself.
Crad needs to get to the side.
Yeah, he's actually got another one, and this swing could lead to Glaive. Going down, they're doing it. Lackey clears him out. Blame so low. One will do it. Lackey gets it. Bomb down, 1-on-1. What a turnaround. 2v4. 2v5.
Has a smoke and a kit here, Zip. So he has a way out here, a ripcord he can pull if he feels threatened in this situation. Just try and get the defuse under the nose.
Uh-oh, that's a very weird smoke. But still, the frag comes to him, and the Minister is in, saves them from a very harrowing defeat. Such a valiant attempt from the two of them. Crad, Lackey, big ups. Not able to put an 8th on the board.
Oh, wow, that round, I cannot believe it. The time was just ticking so low, and it's this little Lackey maneuver, right? So the missed shot is how this starts. Farley goes down to Crab, but Lackey, with 10 seconds left, weasels his way up to the site and gets so much impact here. So much, and you can see that on the fall with the smoke, just how much bounce he got out of that.
Imagine it's all deliberate, just for the sound of that smoke being deployed. He knows he's got a little extra airtime on it. In my mind, it's all 5 DHS for the clutch Minister, and he has given them a real leg up now. Like, the Astralis were scratching their heads for a while.
Remember how that round started? Was just a fight isolating Elian down there, trying to be cheeky through the tarp again. Now they don't have an AWP. It was double AWPs invested. There's not a single AWP retained. On the other side, I'm pretty sure Elian's big green lies idle on the floor right now for him to scoop on up.
This is the util combo.
Well, the flash worked this time. Actually, no, the kills worked this time. The flash has always been working.
But it is such a popper. You saw there, right in front of your face. Full flashbang duration. And a bit of a change up this time. We're going to be having Forrester continue to show the presence. That molly, and yeah, not going to give Elian the fight this time.
Forrester's crept up a little bit here. Quite aggressive behind this smoke.
Oh, he's playing a dangerous game this time. Glaive's the one to pull the trigger while blind.
First kill.
No.
Yeah, that was 0 and 11 for Glaive, so he has been in the grave a lot here. Config gonna grab one back, and finally things starting to whir into action for Astralis. It's another 3-on-5 situation. Surely they clean this one up.
Neat and tidy is the objective. Lackey with a clean and tidy swing. Somehow gets his crosshair there in time. Zipex is gone. Config to fill the void on B. They can afford to. The numbers certainly favor them, and
oh, he's
run boosting to peek it, and nearly falls into Farley. Not quite ideal. Crad's somehow alive and kicking. Farley not punished, and yeah, that's Lackey again, but look at their health. This one ends only one way.
And Config's pushed behind them as well here, so surely this one is done. 50 seconds left. There shouldn't be any naughty plays out of Lackey this time round. Config's gone around the world. He might lose them here to a timing. The bomb can go B. If Lackey runs right now, he could just run in towards the site. Doesn't want to give up the sound cue. Config's starting to understand that this is possible.
Glaive's going to make it over to construction for the cross as well. So Lackey's lost that little gap he had. Oh, Glaive just looked away. Oh, he's heard him. Or he's seen him. Glaive reports. And now ready for the walk-up. No plant, so Glaive will start getting a little concerned as to where that pesky T is going. And where is he going? Into Blame is the frag found. And Astralis are making a CT half out of this after all.
It's good to get Glaive on the board right now. If he can just start getting a little bit more impact here, well, he's able to pick up a necessary kill as part of this because he was blind, right? That could have been Forrester finding the entry. We've already seen him be a menace. So it is a big kill for Glaive to get. I know in the context of the game, right, it's not going to mean a lot, but if he can start to now get that confidence behind him, they can still win the half 8-7, as it is just down to a couple of pistols and one AK-47 in the hands of Lackey here, who is searching towards B. The nade deep, chip damage done. Elian with this deagle, it's already been brutal. He has been sharp.
Lackey just taking the standard duel, no funny business, and yeah, Zip has his crosshair where it needed to be.
Where's the AK, says Nickelback. Please give me the AK.
Where did it drop? Where did it drop? There it is, right in front of my face.
Let me get out of here.
And actually finding a bit of space mid-open. That will force someone back to CT, or the entire team back to CT.
None of them have armor. So if this was to start falling apart, I would send out a howling how.
Yeah, no hows required. Fast flank config will be there. Elian trying to sell something. Glaive surely going to consider the short walk up as soon as ramp is cleared. This is a fun.
Bring it around the Rosie.
There is a small universe where actually he could backstab Glaive if he even considered it. Has Glaive not considered it? He is
I think
now.
they know it's up now. So many unknowns for Elian. There it is. Yeah, it just was piecing it together, right? So the information was just constantly being updated there to help them understand exactly where he could have gotten off to. But that AK from Lackey doesn't net them a whole lot. And now for the final round, Lackey is going to have to operate with a MAC-10. But something that has chopped and changed is the CT defense. They've been playing 3 heavy A early. So if you're Entropiq, now something very B or mid out the gates, it might be the play to make here. Put a bit more pressure elsewhere on the map. See if you can find that gap, see if you can punish Config or Zip and just get them to go one and done with the trade. But looks more of the same. Default spread, a 1-1-3. As Config is searching in middle right here. Oh, catches a bit of a timing.
This was 7-3. Could be an Astralis recovery to a 1-out half.
Didn't this slew of rounds start with the finally deagle?
It did. It did.
So Entropiq are going to mentally be a little bit hampered here, knowing in the way that they've lost some of these rounds.
That was nuke. That was nuke all over. Don't forget, we had a full 30-round nuke with a couple of those oopsies. Astralis ready themselves to adjust to this B take. They're not ready for Zipex's position. Nickelback unable to trade, and 2 bodies hit the deck immediately. Oh, and there's more to be done. Zip gets a double. The rest should fall into place now. They have the bomb. Astralis not known to let these slip away, these advantages. Right on the edge of the smoke, Elian has to come up clutch. An ace clutch asked of him, and they're asking too much. Astralis, what a recovery on Entropiq's turf, Entropiq's soil. They find their footing, and now we swap over to the T side. The Danes to attack.
What up, future pros? I have a nifty fast A smoke I saw Apex throw to help you on your pistol A rushes. You throw this smoke from the T spawn and it will block off the left side of the A side, allowing your teammates to run up short with a bit of smoke coverage. To throw the smoke, first shoot out the glass above. Really, this is the only one you need to break, but shoot them all anyway. Then get yourself stuck into this invisible corner next to this beam. Aim between these 2 dots as shown and jump out the smoke. This smoke will soar through the sky and land perfectly to block off the vision of short from the bomb site nice and early. As long as your teammates take out anyone playing close, you will have a decent standing to win the round. Good luck and rush A?
Second half, second map, first game of the day. It's playoffs, baby, and Forrester doesn't even need to see his enemies in order to defeat them. So many of this first half was openings from Forrester. He had a great game on the Nuke 30-round affair. Left with Astralis, of course, with 16. Puts us here on Entropiq's turf. And a half I'm sure Astralis will be satisfied with, given how slow of a start they got onto our second map.
Yeah, and they can thank Farley for that double eagle and the closeout there to actually set them up for the 5 consecutive on the way out the door. But let's keep track. Glaive only had 2 kills in that first half. He's going to be integral with the 1x bet odds favor Astralis here. And yeah, the pistols for the Orpers keep on singing.
Yeah, hang on. They haven't finished their meal there. Forrester's got an opportunity, and so has Nickelback. Molotov'd out for the sandbags. Glaive puts another frag down range. That's his third.
Oh, if you're going to stand and fight like this, you're going to lose a lot of space back. And oh, Blame almost hitting the shot right there. So more pressure felt on A. Lackey isn't afraid. He's still pressuring forward, and that's enough.
They're gone, though. Completely gone. Blame is keeping them both here. He could even win the round. Oh, hard duel. Doesn't matter. Licky Lackey's gone. And yeah, Nickelback, wrong place. No teammates. And Blame is just playing with you. He wants to make this as long and drawn out as possible. Nickelback just ignores him.
Have fun. Now this position from Zip is good.
Yeah, very good. You're not going to be clearing this one on the rounder corner. Goodbye. Nickelback says. There's nothing. Don't you pull that
spot
face.
hasn't worked for poor Zip this entire game. T-side or CT, but Nickelback, this would be some clutch on 1 HP, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the 1 HP, 1 tap is not to be.
Well, in 1 round, Glaive has just doubled his kills from the first. So this is great. And as I mentioned, he's going to be integral. He needs to be feeling this as the caller on the T side to get them into the game. Now, Blame's done his job on the CT side. He stood up. He was an absolute brick wall, as we expect him to be.
Good server as well.
Yeah. Now, this should be an eco from Entropiq. Astralis likely to get themselves up to the double GGs.
I don't know if it's not the one, is it? That Zipex position, it's just not the one.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I like it when you're playing on the CT side when there's no lurk smoke, because it's a good for one and done. But when there's that lurk smoke, like we saw in the first half, it's just the...
It's even better when you got some first contact stairs side.
Yeah. Lure them right in,
yeah,
line and sinker.
This one is a couple of P250s, and Blame F's got a molly for their boost. Extinguished, trying to win their duel, and yeah, the AD spam on the top of their teammate's head. Very Cirque du Soleil-esque.
Blame's having fun this game, 19 kills and counting for him.
More fun to be had, especially with a Mac 10. No armor on these boys. I reckon Nickelback's going to have a little look at some point. Oh, actually, never mind. Blame has gone down.
They've seen enough.
Going. Yeah.
Well, they should be going. Config trying to cut off the rotations here. If you're Astralis, you don't want to give over too many more guns, right? You've lost Blame, sure. He farmed a lot of cash with the 2 kills that he got, but you don't want to give over any of these rifles. Entropiq are going to be buying next round regardless here, and you'd prefer to give yourself 2 opportunities as opposed to having to buy back in with 2 to 3 people. So Config has dealt with Nickelback. Now it's just Elian to find the USP in his hand, and he's actually just upgraded that, hasn't he?
Quite the upgrade.
Yeah, the P250. Damage done, not the kill, and they will retain 3 of these Galils. It's only Blame who lost that Mac 10. Glaive can hold on to his, and well, this is how it started and pretty much ended. One of the keys is once you do identify that you are up against an eco, when you see the heads explode like that, you're already starting to think about the next round, because you know that the rifles are coming out now. Elian has even been able to afford the AWP, so the Glass Cannon AWP is all he can muster. Everybody else in the squad able to pick up the Silent Stem 4s. They have smokes on the 4, only 1 will make it 2 incendiaries in play, and not a single defuse kit here, so keep that in mind if we get to the post plants.
So many ways this can go wrong for Elian, just with the no armor. Galils, Mac 10s, they'll shred through you, and whoa, oh, he heard him, he tagged him, and he jumps at him. Config felt trapped. And the cornered animal leaping through the smoke does lead to an opening pick.
But look how much space it's bought them. Entropiq have respected this just because of that pace, right? Oh.
Fireworks,
yes. Sky Molly there. That's beautiful scenes over towards B, keeping Forrester's eyes pressed to the skies. But I was going to say how much space they got towards A if they wanted to just maneuver up and go for an execute here, but this is a chance. The shadow spotted, Zip on notice, tagged on down. Blame again to work this short position.
Smoke in response. Farley testing the water Zip up ramp.
Saw something.
Did. can still go wrong. Cutting noise. Blame did just lose a little more health than he bargained for on the wall bang.
Oh, that's the AWP.
What's that? Elian goes down. A bit of an overextension. Farley again with an impactful frag to try and get some space into the site. The whole of Astralis are here, or what remains of them.
And we have flashes to get on in here.
Yeah, it's a duel that Nickelback has to win and does. And this standoff from Blame and Crad is still going. It's an ongoing exchange. Glaive needed to. Unable to provide now, and woof, Blame is looking sharp. You better fear him. Don't give him these fights. The barrel is there. If he can isolate now onto Crad, Lackey on site. Now taking the duel. 10 seconds. Blame's got to get out of there.
Considering the save here, but that means they can go and pick up the AWP. Lucky's already tasked with going and doing that. Blame will hold on to the AK. It gives him something to be threatening with in the next, and there it is, the AWP found from Lucky. So it was the timing there. Nobody was actually watching the top of Crane, and Farley took advantage of that ramp. You expecting players on the jiggle, the reposition of the AWP, but he scoped in towards the top of Crane ramp, and Farley just using that Galil to deny him any traction with the big green. Now, they will be able to buy back in here, Astralis. It's not the end of the world, but it is a good response from Entropiq early to be able to get the third round of play on their side.
Round 19. Let's get into the nitty-gritty now. Couple of sacrifices on the CT side. Nothing perfect either for both.
Oh, very aggressive.
Oh, very aggressive. Look at this flash. He's so blind. Config knows his days were numbered. Nickelback does not hesitate to retreat. He's not looking for a rifle. He's looking for the advantage and to maintain it.
And nothing can be gained here. Astralis can't do anything with that. You know somebody pushed mid, but where can you go?
What the bloody hell just happened?
Oh.
Zipex has just given him another man advantage. Extended by what I can only assume was a strafe.
Did he fall off the map?
I think he might have. We'll try and find his corpse 51 floors down. Or was it a crater into B steps? Forrester's got another. Farley's gone. Astralis have to recover this one. What is going on? He's had a couple of weird moments this half. Ah, we found him.
Yeah, he did fall off the map. We don't see that every day of the week.
Well, you know, Axel unscrewing his silencer made us all feel like, you know, it's a pro mistake as well.
Yeah, we're all human.
Yeah, well, we're all human when it comes to falling off a vertigo as well. Need to see that one again. I'm sure we will. But, yeah, the only way in which he won't feel bad about that is if we see Glaive popping off. He's still alive and kicking. One of the 1v4.
Well-placed nade, so much damage done, but surely there's no way into this.
There is no way in. There's a 3-man peak at the same time. They're just going to count to 3 in their heads. If they could stop him planting, that might be...
Good plan, all things considered.
Hey, that works out nicely, and he is going to have a duel with Nickelback that he cannot win.
Okay, that's a bit odd, right? But that was a great aggressive maneuver from Nickelback, who opened and then closed the round, right? He was the one that got flashed in for this aggressive maneuver. Here it is. You can see the second flash through the skylight. He turns his back. Config steps on up and wasn't expecting somebody close and personal. And this is...
Oh.
I see. I see. Well, you don't have the safety railings all the way around, guys. It's a construction site, all right? You got to know a little bit better, as he has a bit of a smile on his face after that one.
We've all just... I mean, you're holding S, you're waiting for the wall. There's just...
I think he saw Nickelback's head as well, so he's like, if I could just have a little more space. Back, please.
Oh, I can empathize. Funny, though. Let's get into round 20, where we expect to see it all tied up. Is this starting to smell like a third map?
Well, I think the next gun round will be very, very telling of that. Now, this is Elian's chance to pluck a couple, like shooting fish in a barrel, says Config. Your AWP is no good for my Deagle, so that is a gun lying idle. If Zip can stay alive, if they can just not give over a death, they can start to use this number advantage. And there's another one. Glaive takes down Crad.
Okay, pressure's on. Forrester and Lackey have at least found the multi-kill required to even the ship's keel. Farley and Blame F. Now, they're both not too shabby on their pistols. No Deagle for Farley, so no more impact in that respect. But Blame's there, top of the scoreboard in the server.
Look at Nickelback. He's just staunch at the top of the ramp, ready to take a fight.
He wants to. They get the info. You are committed to this. And that seems to work out wonderfully. Who cares? Yeah, you can try and take a shot. So can I. And they tidy things up. 2 loose ends were created by those pistols, but it's all tied up now.
Well, because of these kills, the money hasn't really been able to be it was a buffer for Entropiq so far. The most after all the buy-ups come through is Nickelback with 4.2. Keep in mind the loss bonus will be bottom of the barrel at 1,400. So it has been important that Astralis have been getting these kills. If they can just win out a round, they can break Entropiq here on the CT side. A two-man B start, 3 towards middle, and Flash again. They're actually targeting the default. Lackey's taken down Zip. Nickelback's in towards the ladder. They might not account for this.
Config, your days could be numbered. Lackey makes his presence known from trajectory. It's a deep smoke. Config has nothing to rat around with that. Nothing at all. And with that, where's that flank? What's the update on that mid space that was taken from
just
Nickelback?
left. He didn't want to give up. Very in-game leader style. Doesn't want to keep pushing the issue. So he's going to drop back, play the number advantage here.
Yeah, Krad stands into Farley's spray. A 4-on-4. Elian is posted on sandbags. It was a tight angle. Pressure now as they close the gap. Glaive is on site. Over the top. Nickelback, a sitting duck, plucked. And a 3v3. We need to see that bomb.
It's so loose. It's down towards the lower side of things. They need to go back and get that. This is all over.
Yeah, they're so committed, and Lackey's good for the double. A triple in total, and by the time Blame arrives, it's all cooked.
I think they tried to react off of the B info that was thrown their way, and they reacted fine, but the bomb was just not with them here, and now Blame left in a 1-on-3 situation. Forrester disconnected from the pack, but standing side by side, Lackey and Elian on A. Blame has a nade. It could be greatly placed on the head of Elian here.
That's a dead Elian. And that's a 1v1. So smooth with it. Anticipates that they stacked A. Oh, and there's some info. Forrester throws out the stop molly.
This is mind games right now because he had time to go back to B if he wanted here. Does Forrester doubt it, or does he just sit and wait?
How long does he cut noise? Blame for the 1v3. Forrester. Noisy. Oh, Blame needs to plant now. Fakes it out. Forrester dancing with him. 5 seconds. He needs to kill, and Forrester, brave in the face of Blame, finds us an 11th for Entropiq.
Wow, what a close round.